Hey there, traders, and welcome back for episode number 112 from the StockBandit.tv. It's a place you can always find trading videos to make you better, and on Sundays you can find market levels here and interesting technical zones to be keeping an eye on in the major averages. So we're heading into a very short trading week this week. We've got full sessions on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have a half day on Thursday. That is Christmas Eve. Then, of course, the market is closed on Friday for Christmas Day. And so as the week progresses, I'm definitely expecting volume to taper off considerably, and it should be pretty light all week, but definitely as the week progresses, it's going to get lighter and lighter and thinner as more and more traders step away from their screens to go tend to other things, hanging out with family, doing some last minute shopping, taking end of the year vacation, whatever. So we've got some interesting things taking place in the market. Obviously on Friday of last week it was option expiration day, and along with that we saw major spikes in volume, and so that's very standard to see. It's very typical, especially quarter ending expiration days, and so that is really the reason for so much volume on Friday. So heading into this week though, let's take a look at some key index levels here. For the NASDAQ, we did break out once again. So we're trying to see if this time it can stick. We've made a couple of attempts to the upside, crossing through this level right here. That's the 2205 level on a closing basis. So we did close above that on Friday, and obviously on big volume, but the volume again related to something else, not so much the technical breakout. It was a solid performance though, and we've got this uptrend line here that's starting at the very beginning of November, and it was tested again a few weeks back and again, and then last week. So we've got this rising trend line here that's been very important here. We have yet to make new highs. We haven't, obviously we've cleared this 2205 level, but 2220 is the highs for the NASDAQ. So we need to go ahead and push on through that if this breakout is actually going to stick, and this rising trend line should hold. Now, if we do happen to turn lower, this support zone right here is the 2140 area. So that's kind of the lower level to be keeping an eye on. Of course, we would need to break this rising trend line first, and then the next level below that would be down here, 2140, okay? For the S&P 500, very clean, well-defined channel here that we're sitting in after the huge run off the March lows. We have 1113 is upper resistance. Now, we have cleared that briefly a couple of times during the day, but we need to close above that if we're going to see this trading range get left behind. So obviously this index rallied and then has been stuck in this range for several weeks. So we need to punch through 1113 on a closing basis. We need to go ahead and take out 1119 at the highs and just keep on running if this index is going to start a new leg higher. If not, we should just continue to expect more of the same, bound between support down here at the 1084 zone and upper resistance at 1113 until we get through one of those levels with some force and actually close beyond it and then start to see a little follow through. There's very little to be expected from this market. For the Dow, I'm going to zoom out here a little bit longer. Take note of this rising trend line here. This is the uptrend line. It starts from March. It was validated in July. It was nearly touched again back here, early November. And then, of course, we touched it again last week, and it's held every time. So the more touches that you get on a trend line, the more valid it becomes. And so I want to make a couple of notes here. Number one, obviously the uptrend is still intact. Number two, if we do see a break of this trend line, it does not mean that the trend is broken. It means that the pace of the trend is broken. A trend, by definition, is not a line. It's a series of higher highs and higher lows in the case of an uptrend. So we would need to see lower highs and or lower lows established before the real trend would change. But for now, the uptrend line, so the pace of the uptrend still stands. And so that's interesting how it kind of coincides with this short-term support here that we've seen at the 10,230 neighborhood. So we tested that again last week. We were trying to rebound slightly. Upper resistance is right up here. This is the 10,500 area. We need to break above that and close beyond it. Again, we've cleared it briefly a couple of times intraday. We have yet to close above it. And if that does occur, then this index could certainly climb higher, leaving this high base or this high channel pattern. And so, the bulls are still in the driver's seat. They've had a phenomenal run. They definitely deserve respect, but at the same time, they're kind of hesitant lately to really seize an opportunity to build on the current base of the past several weeks and really just press this market higher once again. So they definitely have an opportunity. We need to be on watch for that possibility in the days and weeks ahead. It does not have to happen between now and January 1st. Now, speaking of January 1st, this is the end of the year. This is a time when you want to do some reviewing of how your year has gone. Take a look back, get out your trade sheets, run some numbers and see how you're doing and how your winners and losers stack up against each other, not just in terms of your win rate, but also how large are your winners compared to how large are your losers. And that's a very good exercise to take. In fact, if you didn't catch it on the blog this past week, I did write about goals, and hope you'll stop by and take the time to take a look at that at the stockbandit.net. It's an article that I think will just get you thinking a little bit as you head into these last 10, 11 days of the year, and start to consider, what do you want to take from 2009 and what do you want to apply toward 2010? How can you get better? How can you improve? How can you boost your profitability and come out next year, this time, feeling really proud and really accomplished? And so I hope that you'll make the time to set some goals, and that you'll consider some of the points I made in that post regarding goals in general, and as well as off-the-screen goals. They're very helpful to have, and they're very good, especially during some of those stretches of trading when it's just not as fun as others. So there are some key levels for you to keep an eye on this week. If anything, I hope you have very happy holidays. Travel safely. If you do tend to step away from the screens this time of year, set those goals high for 2010. Thanks for joining me for this episode. I will be back soon with more videos, but in the meantime, trade like a bandit.